Today, I'll explain about the American science fiction film Gravity. The Space Shuttle Explorer is shown in Earth orbit at the beginning of the movie. Veteran astronaut Matt Kowalski directs it to maintain the Hubble Space Telescope. Another astronaut, Dr. Ryan Stone, is on the mission. She is on her first mission to upgrade the Hubble's hardware. During a spacewalk, Matt, who has a ton of involvement, attempts to ease up the state of mind by telling a portion of his entertaining encounters while filling in as a space explorer. After the Russians have shot down a presumed defunct spy satellite, Mission Control in Houston issues a warning to the crew about a rapidly expanding cloud of space debris. The debris, which is traveling at a rate faster than a high-speed bullet, is heading their direction. As a result, they are given the order to immediately return to Earth. However, as soon as the debris destroys the communication satellites, they lose contact with Houston. Despite their best efforts to return to Explorer, Dr. Stone remains entangled in the mechanical arm. At the same time, the Explorer and Hubble are hit by debris traveling at high speed, killing the remaining crew members. Dr. Stone is also ripped from the shuttle by the crash, sending her tumbling through space. She tries to get in touch with anyone who can hear her frantically. Matt finally receives the transmission from Dr. Stone a few minutes later and inquires about her location after initially receiving no response to her call. He then requests that she flash the light so he can locate her. Using a manned maneuvering unit, Matt finally arrives not long after and advises Dr. Stone to remain calm and reduce her oxygen consumption because her remaining oxygen is less than 10%. After that, when they get back to the Explorer, they find that it has been severely damaged and that the rest of the crew has died. The two make the decision to make use of the manned maneuvering unit in order to get to the International Space Station, which is about 900 miles away from where they are at the moment. They only have 90 minutes, according to Matt, before the debris field completes its orbit and strikes again. On their way to the International Space Station, they are treated to a stunning sunrise. Matt initiates a conversation to calm Dr. Stone, who is still in a state of panic due to the fact that her oxygen supply is now less than 2%. She eventually talks about her family and her daughter, who died in an accident when she was 4 years old. It hugely affects her life, which made her extremely miserable on the grounds that she needed to acknowledge the reality to experience her days without her dearest girl. After that, her oxygen level drops below 1%, but Matt tells her that her suit still has some oxygen. As they approach the station, Matt makes sense of that the Global Space Station's team has emptied utilizing one of its two Soyuz shuttle. However, the remaining Soyuz spacecraft's parachute has been damaged, rendering it inoperable for Earth return. Matt suggests that they use it to get to the Tiangong space station, 60 miles away, where they can board the Shenzhou spacecraft and safely return to Earth as their only hope of survival. The two attempt to climb aboard the International Space Station while making use of their remaining maneuvering fuel. The pair's tether snaps on one of the station's solar panels as they are unable to slow down their drift. Dr. Stone manages to grab Matt's suit strap after her leg gets caught in the Soyuz's parachute cords, but it soon becomes clear that the cords won't be able to support them both because they are too loose. As a result, Matt releases himself from the tether in an effort to prevent Dr. Stone from escaping with him. After that, Matt floats off while she is pulled back toward the station. Stone's suit's alarm goes off, letting her know that she's about to breathe in carbon dioxide. She clearly loses her ability to concentrate because of this, and she will eventually pass out. Dr. Stone is instructed to immediately enter the station and launch the Soyuz by Matt, who is still within transmission range. After launching the Soyuz, she promised them that she would not give up on saving him. Dr. Stone tries to regain consciousness by entering the space station through the airlock while she is still conscious. Inside the station, she finds that she can't restore correspondence with Matt or Earth and reasons that she is currently the last one standing. She tries to put out a fire that starts suddenly and breaks out. She has to rush to Soyuz, but she is too late because the fire has destroyed the entire station. Dr. Stone has only ever used a simulator to launch Soyuz before, but this time she must do it in person to save herself. She forgets that the spacecraft could not leave because the tangled parachute was stuck outside as she maneuvers the Soyuz away from the station. As a result, Dr. Stone goes into space to cut the cables. Inadvertently, 90 minutes have passed, and she is now confronted with the debris field that is approaching her and destroying the station. Dr. Stone immediately returns to the spacecraft and angles the Soyuz in the direction of Tiangong. However, when she discovers that the Soyuz's engine lacks fuel, she eventually gives up hope. Subsequently, Dr. Stone attempts to contact any individual who can accept her radio transmission. The radio communication is somehow received by someone on Earth, but sadly, they do not speak the same language. As a result, Dr. Stone accepts her fate and kills herself by cutting off the oxygen supply to the cabin. Matt appears to enter the capsule out of nowhere and tells her to give up as she begins to lose consciousness. After that, he instructs her to program the soft landing rockets of the Soyuz to propel the capsule toward Jiangong. Before he leaves, Matt also tells her one last time that she needs to keep fighting if Dr. Stone really wants to come back to Earth. Dr. Stone regains his will to live once he realizes Matt's appearance was a hallucination. In accordance with Matt's earlier suggestion, she then restores the oxygen flow in the spaceship and rigs the landing rockets to propel the capsule toward Jiangong. Dr. Stone ejects herself from the Soyuz and uses a fire extinguisher as a temporary booster to get to Jiangong, who is rapidly deorbiting since she is unable to dock with Jiangong. The debris starts to hit the station at the same time. In order to initiate the Earth landing module, she is able to enter Jiangong's Shenzhou capsule. She is initially perplexed by the Chinese written buttons, but then she recalls Matt's earlier message that the buttons are identical to those on the Soyuz. She was compelled to immediately undock the capsule from Jiangong while continuing to report her condition to Houston when the entire station began to collapse in a matter of seconds. It tends to be seen that the flotsam and jetsam begin to consume as they enter the upper air, including Dr. Stone's case. Despite being damaged by the debris as it descends, the Shenzhou capsule is able to enter the atmosphere and land in a lake. She is informed that she has been detected on radar and that rescuers are on their way via radio communication from Houston. Her struggle, however, does not end there. She is unable to exit the hatch because the water rushes in when Dr. Stone opens it. In order to swim through the hatch, she takes a deep breath and holds it until the capsule sinks. Before swimming to the beach, she also needs to take off her spacesuit, which is making her feel heavy. The movie comes to a close with a scene that shows Dr. Stone successfully rescuing herself while grasping the ground she has been missing so much. After that, she triumphantly stands and leaves, enjoying the pleasures of gravity on Earth. To see more videos like this one, please subscribe, enable notifications, and like the video to support the channel.